Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my God, so great to see you all here. This is so exciting. I'm going to introduce right at the top, oh, sorry. All right. Where's Michael Backinson? He needs to show me how to do this. Right from the top, I'm going to introduce Dean James Mann, who will do a little introduction here for you all. And I want to say a special thank you to James because he's been a huge supporter of theater and dance programs. He has been to every show, whether it's been on Zoom, live, or a classroom project. I mean, quite sincerely, and I've never seen a dean or even anybody in administration do that, and also just sincerely supporting our programs and helping us get the tech and the funding we need to do our work. So it's really, really exciting that I get to introduce Dr. James Mann.
Wow. So, class of 2021, congratulations, right? This is an incredible moment. I'm delighted that I finally got to stand with students in person. After this rather interesting year we've had. I've congratulated you as a group in a video that you will see tomorrow, where I thank and congratulate everybody, and then I give a special nod to this group. Watch for the virtual background. You may see yourself in it. As a dean, I'm not supposed to have favorites. And I'm from the philosophy department. So I think of them usually as my favorites, but actually, after this year especially, you guys are my favorites. I'm sorry. It's interesting to think about how this year has been a difficult year, but for your programs, this year has been an incredible success. I mean, what you managed to accomplish with your faculty this year is unbelievably amazing, and it has helped everybody to get through this year. I mean, being able to see your work and to talk about it with others and to talk about it in groups after the premieres has helped us to get through this year. So this is what I say when I talk about how wonderful our programs are. And this year, I think it's been especially amazing. And, I was trying to think back, right? So when did we know or think that this was going to be a special year? We were all kind of suffering in the pandemic and at home. And then, we knew something good was coming. And then, I guess, Canopsia launched. And everybody kind of went, wow, did you see that? That was incredible. We can do that. That can be done. And Lehman did it, right? So that was kind of, we began on this high, and that was 6 months ago now in November, right? We began on this high for the rest of the academic year as to what we could achieve. And I was trying to make sure I remembered all the productions, because right after that, we had the Harmony Rising. And that was, again, another incredible achievement, and we actually used it in a conference the following March. We thought that it was so good. And the other digital storytelling works that were produced that term. And then we got into spring. And I was trying to make sure I got the order of this right. So I guess in spring it began, in terms of release of productions, it began with the finally released Polaroid Stories, right? Isn't that right? And the delay, and then it was like, okay, let's make this edible, tear the roof off, and it was, and it has the music that I like the most. Sorry, but that's just my generation music. So then it was like, oh my gosh, we are doing things at a level that is essentially changing the nature of what theater and multimedia production programs can do, right? And then we had, I want to make sure now, because the order was kind of psychological to me. So the New Voices student plays, right? That was also then this incredible, and you know, I mean, in the best of times, it's great to have the student plays and be able to come to the theater as I did. But this time round, I could like rewatch and rewatch and rewatch the same night, you know? When do you get to do that normally? And I have to sort of try to name out some people. So obviously Canopsia, I think of and associate with Amy, and the Harmony Rising I associate with Monica, and Polaroid Stories I associate with Tamala, and the last days of Judas Iscariot I associate with Rick. Because I remember when we were scheduling that, and I remember, you know, all the things we had to do to make that happen, and the bit of money we had to get to make that happen. So again, that was amazing, and that's my backdrop. That's my virtual background tomorrow. And then to crown it off, MX and the Spring 2021 Multimedia Performance and Digital Storytelling. That was like, again, amazing work, and I'm still rewatching that one. But here's the thing I wanted to say, and I was thinking about, you know, the fact that we are here now as a group is because you wanted us to be here now together. And so here was the amazing achievement. So this year, in addition to producing all of this work, all of this art, you also created or maintained a community. And that's kind of incredible to have done this year. You've kept yourselves as a community throughout the year. So that is an achievement that has resulted in this being the group that asked me, you know, could we arrange to have this awards event in person on campus to baptize the new amphitheater, right? So as a community, you came together, and that's why we're here today. So this is a testament to you and what you thought you needed to do because of the group that you created and maintained this year. So I'm congratulating you on the achievement of finishing your degrees, but I'm also congratulating you on the achievement of having created and maintained a community in your senior year in a worldwide pandemic. That is something that very few other people can say they did. So, congratulations, and let the awards show begin!
Y'all, I have the distinct pleasure to introduce a couple of wonderful human beings here in a moment that you guys know all too well. And I want to just piggyback on what James said really briefly. I got to say, Fatu, are you out there? Oh, good. Just, you know what you got to do, right? Every time, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, we have a little thing going here, don't worry. Okay, good. Thank you. She's keeping me from falling apart, basically. Okay, so I think what James said. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So what am I doing, Tamla? I have to push through the, just remind me. I breathe, that's it. That's what I'm trying to remember. No, as James mentioned, it's been a horrific year for us all. And without having these performances that we've done both on Zoom and I'm trying to, I'm remembering that day pre-March, 16th, when we had the final rehearsal for Polaroid Stories here in B20. And I was kind of cavalier about the whole thing. I was like, oh, come on, guys. This is, like avian bird flu. This thing's going to be over in a couple of weeks. We'll be back in action. We may have to take a couple-day, week, month hiatus, but we're going to do this. And at that moment, I realized, I said to Michael and Tamala, I said, you guys might want to do a run-through and film that, just in case, just so you'll remember a couple weeks from now, what it's all about. And you can refer to it. Well, luckily we did that, and thankfully they did that because that was the record of the show we had. And from that, Michael and Tamala created over a year, with many of you all, a video version of people in Polaroid stories from all over the country, actually. And to me, this was very inspirational in and of itself, because it said, oh, breathe, right? It really said to me a lot, the dedication of what we do and the importance of it. And not just for you all, but for us all as well. It's why we do what we do, as far as I'm concerned. And for me, it was a saving grace. And I'm not a religious person, as you guys know. But I really, really believe in the power of what we do and how we do it. And I'm just so impressed with y'all for, being here and graduating. And it's just amazing to me. We're here today. All right, now I get that out of my system. Thank you for indulging me. But I want to introduce Angela Reynoso first and foremost, and then Chris Getty in a second. And she's going to be the first recipient and award winner here this afternoon. So Angela, come forward. Forward. Hug me again, please. Oh, thank God. All right. Even doing that is like, gold. So Angela's the one, with Chris's help here, who put this together. It really was her brainchild. She made this happen. Christopher, come on. Oy vey, now we're shy? I gotta say, and to me this is impressive in and of itself. The show must go on, the show must go on. Whether it's the graduation, whether it's an actual show, whether it's a class, whatever. And to me, this is what makes artists artists, and it also says a lot about their dedication to their craft. And I know full well both y'all and all y'all will be working far into the future and hiring all of us. I guarantee it, because that's what it takes to do this work, okay? So Angela put this together with Chris's help, and without them, it wouldn't have happened. And they did this, forget me, forget James, Amy, whoever. They went to, our upper administration here, and they made their case, and they got it to happen. And, this is not easy stuff, as you know. So thank you for that. So in honor of, and many of you may remember, Victor Hernandez, who met an untimely death while he was a student of ours here at Lehman College. Last year we inaugurated an award which Jadiel Rodriguez received called the Victor Hernandez Theater Achievement Award in honor of Victor and also of all people who are dedicated to our profession. And it is administered by what's called the Macon Rand Foundation, which is the actual person who donated the money. But I wanted to rename it the Victor Hernandez Award so that we would give it something that was personal to us and came from our group and is a legacy for people who, are suffering at the hands of oppression and injustice all over our country and even in our own precious Bronx, and so I want to make sure that it's clear that this is about Victor and honoring him as well. And so Angela will be receiving the next Victor Hernandez Award. And as you'll see later on here today, we have special honorary awards. You remember high school? And remember, were you in high school? Yeah. You remember, Best Actor and all that shit? Well, we're not doing that. Oh, we're being recorded. I already saw. Okay, great. We're already gone there. Steve, you're gonna edit that, right? No, leave it in. That's great. But they have those Best Actor, Best Couple, all that crap, and I was like, come on, we suffered through that once. And so we created, these guys created some funny awards, which I think a lot of you guys know. So I'm going to read this out, and each person who comes up will get one of these as well. But Angela is the most likely to be Instagram famous award. Ooh, Instagram famous. Wow. I would have gone with TikTok famous, but I don't know much about what the kids like. But
I use TikTok, so I don't know about all that.
So they're gonna, Chris Getty. Hello, Christopher. How are you? Where are you on my list here, Chris? Sorry, I don't even see. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. You, Christopher, get the Life of the Party Award.
Life of the
Am
party!
I wrong? So I'm going to let these guys talk to you all, and thank you both once again for making this happen.
It has been a hell of a year. No, scratch that. It has been at least a hell of a 4 years at the very least. And I just wanted to say how proud I am of each and every one of you, and including the faculty. We have gone above and beyond to have our experience be as close to being in person as possible, and we heavily succeeded on that. As James mentioned, we did the Playwrights Festival, Polaroid Stories, Canopsia, The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, and so on. Wow. Thank you, Rick, for getting me in my feelings. So yeah, it's just been very challenging, and the pandemic has challenged how much we care and love ourselves and others. I feel like we were all at a point in our lives where we were just questioning our existence, questioning what we are doing with ourselves, why we are doing things in general, or even just questioning time. At this point, I don't even think time exists because of how fast everything is going. But one thing that has helped me through this journey was the support from the entire department these last 4 years. And if I could, I would go back in time, not to change anything, but to just watch. I would love to relive some moments I shared with students and professors. Oh my God. I'd want to go back to how it all started in Acting 1 with Stephanie. I remember seeing Vette in this class, and I saw so much potential in her. I was like, yeah, she's gonna be one of the greats. Same with Andrew. The day I saw him perform that scene where he was playing as a suspect of a killer, I totally believed it was him. I believed he was the killer. I was also like, yep, I want to work with him someday too. And yet we did. It's been great. And you can always count on him to have us play a game of 21 with some cards. You know, he probably brought them with him now. And to my forever fake lover, Zacchaeus, or shall I say Demetrius, made the midsummer experience 10 times better. I'm side-eyeing him right now because he couldn't make it today. But if he were here, I'd just give him a huge hug, because he's another one who's grown so much in the little time that I've known him. I was honored when he asked me to be his scene partner for his audition to Pace. It reassured me that it's not only me who feels a strong connection when we perform together. It reassured, oh, I just said that, oh my God. So, Zacchaeus, if you're watching this right now, I want you to know that I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you on the big screen. Another memory that comes to mind is the first day of the Galileo rehearsal. Everyone already pretty much knew each other except for me, but Tasha and a former student, Brian, turned to me and said something so simple, hi. And they made me feel so welcomed in the span of a minute by just acknowledging my presence. Now, I could talk about my friendship with Tasha for days, for years. I've never met, oh God. I've never met another person who was just as much a crybaby as me. And I think we've seen each other's growth the most because of our Acting 2 class with Jen. Jen is something else, man. Tasha and I had a breakthrough in that class, and when I tell you that we cried every week, I mean it. Ask Chris or Naomi. They were there to tell us that. And Chris couldn't even look at us when we had to do an exercise because he was trying to avoid crying himself. I'm probably self-consciously avoiding eye contact with Tasha for the same reason right now. It's crazy how much 1 year can do. I'm very happy and grateful to call these people my friends today. If I'm ever longing for a home, I just think of my theater family, and that alone makes me happy. This is probably why we cherish the green room so much too. If we were ever looking for someone, we'd just say, oh, they're probably in the green room. Or, oh, they're in the caf, but their stuff is in the green room. Where's Tasha? Sleeping in the green room. Overall, I just want to thank each and every one of you for making the college experience a memorable one. I wanted to mention everyone at least once since I've shared great and funny memories with all of you. But I don't want the Oscar music to start kicking me off the stage, so I wanted to keep this short and sweet. Also notice how I said stage. We're finally on a stage together. Slowly but surely, our lives are getting back to normal. We will relearn how to be surrounded by others again and create even stronger productions because of what we've been through during this pandemic. If we were able to face this chapter in our lives, then we can conquer anything. Know that you all hold a special place in my heart. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to get to know each and every one of you. I know your support is valued and noticed for lifetimes and beyond. Class of 2021, we did it. Now I will introduce the life of the party, Christopher Getty.
Hello? Hello? All right. So when this opportunity was proposed to me to say something about going through this, I didn't know what to say, and every day she kept asking me, and I'm like everything in my underground, I waited till last minute to do it. So, 4 years I was here, and I really wouldn't speak to anyone. My first acting class was with Fatu, and we're here today, and just being able to speak, because Stephanie would be like, Chris, slow down. Just keep going. I just wanted to get it over with. But I'm definitely grateful for being here and having this opportunity of just sharing this experience with you. And also being that throughout the 4 years, 2 years, everybody was here, we witnessed so many great productions, and having to be together in a room and cherishing that moment that each performance is never the same like the last one. I feel like, Angela, Rick, thank you. These last, especially year and a half, has been hard for us. But also, look at all the work that we did. We're not waiting for someone to give us an opportunity. We're making the opportunities ourselves. Look at the work that y'all did with that 4950s, the digital storytelling. You can add things into your arsenal, into your resume, like, look, I could do that. Because we went from being students and actors to being producers, writers, directors in the span of just, in just that short span. And we have all this work. And we still have more work, because this is just the beginning. We're gonna go out and we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna get this money. And but one thing's for sure is that this is home. And at first we all walked in as strangers, and now we're walking out as the class of 2021. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So with love, let's get this bread and let's do it, because Lehman is doing it. Party out!
What began as a project about homeless youth in Minnesota in the 1990s, Polaroid Stories, an adaptation of Ovid's Metamorphosis, became an award-winning stage play that premiered at the Humana Festival in 1997. This timeless, time-warping story has been staged repeatedly in the succeeding decades. The ageless themes, the raw language, and emotions continue to speak to new generations. Our stream production of Polaroid Stories is a tribute to the talent, perseverance, and tremendous effort of the cast, creatives, and crew from the Lehman Music, Multimedia Theater, and Dance Department.
Okay. Shh. Check it out. I love you.
Okay, hold up. I love you.
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 Goof.
Our original version was in final pre-tech run-through when the coronavirus pandemic shut down all theater in New York.
These pieces were independently produced by theater and dance multimedia performance arts majors this spring semester. Join us for a journey through the ups and downs of this year reflected in stories of love, loss, and resilience. Please note, viewer discretion is advised since topics of mental health are addressed within the show. With that said, please enjoy the ride and stick around for a post-screening Zoom discussion with the directors. Bienvenido a la presentación combinada de actuación multimedia y al concierto de danza de primavera del 2021. Estas piezas fueron producidas de forma independiente por las especialidades de artes escénicas de danza y teatro multimedia este semestre de primavera. Únase a nosotros en un viaje a través de los altibajos de este año, reflejados en historias de amor, pérdida y resistencia. Tenga en cuenta que se recomienda la discreción del espectador, ya que los temas de salud mental se abordan dentro del programa. Dicho esto, disfrute de este viaje y quédese para una discusión de Zoom después de la presentación con los directores.
All right. And we're back. Hi. Now we're going to go through all our grads and talk about them individually with members of our faculty. And I get the pleasure of starting with the delightful, and yes, you know, you're graduating too. You're not just organizing here, you know. So Angela Reynoso, you know, I saw her audition and I turned to Amira Mustafa, who's over, hi Amira, and I said, wow, that's your friend? Man, she's talented. And you were, what, a sophomore or like, I don't know, second year or something like that? Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to exploit this talent. But it was just a really great moment of seeing someone who had some genuine chops already and was such a delightful person to work with. And every time we've worked, she's just been a wonderful human being. And also, what I really appreciate, not just waiting to be told what to do, but actually being proactively making these amazing choices, and half the time I had very little to say to you. I really did. And then there were other moments when I was like, oh no, do this. And I was like, why am I forcing her to do this? Actually, she's doing a great thing already. So just back off. I'm talking to myself. And that's the kind of artist she is. Very forthright, has something to say, has a very clear vision and voice. And also, I'm really impressed with her film work that's been coming out. I don't know if you know this, she's directed films. I'm sure I'm going to be working for you very shortly. But yeah, this to me is what makes an artist an artist. Someone who can sort of, walk in all waters and do all kinds of things equally well. But I'll just never forget working with you in Midsummer Night's Dream. And suddenly, at the end of it was a dress rehearsal, maybe it was a performance, suddenly you gave birth to a three-legged dog, as I recall, on stage. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video of this, because it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my days. And Ellie Dumais was there. She can corroborate this. Yes, you were there, right? You remember? So I was just so impressed with that bit. And it made me laugh so hard. I was like, geez, if you can get me to genuinely laugh at something that I didn't make happen, you've really got something going on here. But it was so charming and so wonderful. And to me, that's her creativity. She's always thinking, always making choices, always not resting on what she just did before, but constantly reinventing herself. So, Angela Reynoso. I don't know what we're doing in terms of people coming and going here. I think we're going to give out fake diplomas at the end, right? That's what Jennifer was trying to do. And then I promise I won't be here all day talking. Although it seems like I have them. Oh, hello, thank God you're here. I have one more to do. Another award for a lovely human being. No, don't go away. You can be here. This is not formal. I would like to call Laura Guzman to the stage. Laura, I know you're out there. While she's walking, I gotta say, Laura is also one of the winners of the Victor Hernandez Award. And she was voted the one who asked the most questions award. Which brings me to my Laura Guzman story. I would say, come here. Hi. I would say after every class, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, I'm impressed by this. Like myself, I would go to the teacher after every class and go, you would ask me, like, did I do that? Did I do enough? Did I finish that? Was this correct? I have more ideas. Let me tell you about this. What's the next thing do? Like every single class trying to improve upon what was already brilliant as far as I was concerned. But never, ever did she have the attitude like, oh yeah, I'm awesome, I'm really brilliant, and this is great, and this is all a waste of my time, but thank you. It was much more about really an intellectually curious human being. And in our profession, for me, this is really important. We'll buy time by hugging. But this is really important to me because it's not just about the artistic expression, which of course is huge, but it's also about, she's really committed to issues of social justice as we all are, and really walks the walk. And one of the things is, speaking of Victor Hernandez, Victor was in the class of play analysis with us, and when he died. And Laura actually let us all know that there was a memorial service for Victor to go to. And Victor had created, and I have this for you in my office, we used to do these little zines for play analysis class, and Victor had created one with his 6-year-old daughter, which I still have, and Laura was like, oh my God, we should give this to the family. We should honor them to show the kind of work that he was capable of and what kind of person he was. And I was always moved by that and really impressed by that. So thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for that. Now, Amy Larimer.
Hi, everybody. It's so amazing to see everybody here. Thank you to Angela and Chris for putting this together. It's really It's really moving, but I'm going to try to hold it together. We'll see how far I get. I am here to present Ellie Berry with the Victor Hernandez Award, another Victor Hernandez Award. And I first met Ellie in Movement for Actors and Dancers, and then in improvisation, and then in 425, worked with her on Hamlet, and I think Ellie is one of the kindest, most generous people that I've met. She's always there to offer more, to help anyone who's there, to stage manage, to act, to just be there for you if you want. And there are so many moments that I can remember from class where we'd be having a big discussion and Ellie would be listening, and there would come a moment where she would say something with such compassion and maturity that would kind of remind us all of how important the arts are and how simple it can be sometimes just to do work with integrity. So thank you, Ellie, for all of that.
I have to say something because I should say I really appreciate this journey here, and I will never forget each class, all classes I have here, all my professors. I really appreciate that we have them here because they are always creating that bridge to help students get their goal. And thank you so much. I will never forget this journey. And thank you for all the opportunities you gave me here. God blesses you.
Thank you, Amy. Hello, hello. I have the honor of presenting the Joan Miller Award to Adanya Quezada. So if you would please do the strut up to stage. I'm just gonna feel this silence. I'm just gonna feel this moment. Let's just feel this. Let's feel this moment. Hello and welcome. So you are receiving the Joan Miller Award, and you are also receiving the Most Likely to Dance in a Beyonce Video Award. So snaps for that. Snaps for that. And it's amazing to think that you're starting a new journey, because it feels like you're just an institution here. Like you're such a stable light in this space, you know? And you're the kind of person, I'm gonna say student, but I just wanna say person, because you're the kind of person that a professor never has to worry about, you know? That I can just leave a bunch of ideas out on the floor, and I know you're gonna go away and you're gonna come back with something more fabulous than we could have thought about. And so I think you're receiving this Joan Miller Award because her legacy was all about innovation and creating space for people. And there's just such an intellectual and conceptual rigor in your work that needs to be honored. You know, from the work you did at the spring dance concert with the cell phones to this very intimate and touching, literally and figuratively, work you did for the 4950 piece. There's just always a depth and a consideration and a real honoring of your own process that really you do because that's just who you are. But we have you here on this stage to announce to you, in case you don't know, that it's visible to the rest of us, and we're really grateful for it. Thank you. We haven't worked out this middle part. We didn't rehearse this part.
Hey. How's everybody doing? You know, while I was sitting watching, I was thinking to myself, I've been to 18 of these, and this is very different. I've never seen anything like it, and we probably won't see anything quite like it again. You know, the year and a half that we've had, that we've all had, and the trials and tribulations that we've been through. And while the world was sort of wondering what was going to happen to the arts and would it ever start back up again, you guys kept the community together, like James said. But they also built a theater here. There was a theater coming up while everybody was wondering whether theater was going to come back, which is great. I've been here so long that when I met Angela, she was 9. Okay, that's not a joke. 9, 8 or 9. Okay, I've also been here so long that I remember a time that the Reynoso that the theater and dance program was talking about was not Angela. It was Christy. Okay, that's old. I've also been here so long, and I'm also so old, I've also been in the Bronx so long, that I knew and really dug Ben Spearman when he was in his 20s. Not that he isn't handsome now, but what a looker. Okay? So it is my honor. We have something that we call the Maurice C. Dean Award. Okay? This is an award given by Lehman Stages and the Theater and Dance Program. And what's interesting about this is the Lehman Stages Award, the gigantic cash award that comes with this, is a cash award donated by the staff of Lehman Stages, right? And that is to keep right. And that, stay there. And that is to keep Maurice's name and spirit alive. I think Amy can attest to, Maurice was one of the first that took this idea that the program, the main idea of the program is about to have these actualized artists, to create your own work, to not stand around and be anointed. I think Maurice was really the first one to sort of go out and do that, and he was, just a tremendous guy, and started a dance company here and employed a lot of people, and if you guys didn't know him, you would love him. What's really kind of crazy is that Ben knew him. Ben knew Mo. Mo worked with the Bronx Opera. So the Mo Dean Award is named after Lehman alum Maurice C. Dean, who as founder and director of Hip Hop Theory, created educational and performance opportunities for hundreds of young dancers and inspired many others with his talent and courage. It is awarded to the graduating student who exemplifies entrepreneurial spirit and creative leadership in the performing arts, and that is definitely Ben. And the other thing that's incredible about Ben is that Ben was in 2 of my classes, and a lot of other people's classes, obviously, but never tried to co-teach, and never tried to make the class, never sort of came in and said, I know what's happening more than you know what's happening, because my boy's got a lot of experience, so it never felt, he knew how to do it. And, especially during the pandemic where you're sort of talking to boxes, and you put a question out there and you get no response, and you can sort of go, Ben, what do you think? And Ben always had his camera on. You know what I mean, Adanya? Okay, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Spearman.
Yeah, I just want to say that, Dante, you got me, because an award named after Mo, who I don't know that y'all would have known, but he would have fit right in with this group. Great person, and thank you. And thank you, Stephanie, too, for allowing me to be part of things. And I just need to say one more thing, which is that when I stepped into Tamala's class and we had our first day, I knew I was going to learn something here. And I came back here and I'd sat with Rick and we'd figured out, okay, I was going to have to do the equivalent of 1 year. And what did I need to do? Check this box. Well, I had this from Hunter 20 years ago. I didn't need to take that. Okay, first class I'm going to take is voice and movement. And it's going to be Tamala. I don't know who anybody is except for you. And I came into her class and right away I knew this was going to be a place to learn, not just a place to check boxes. So thank you all for welcoming the old man into your midst. And you, the devil over there, Chris Getty, you are all in my hearts forever. Thank you.
Don't clap for me. This time we can clap for the Beauty Rest Award. I didn't make these up. I don't know. Seems a little shady, but whoever made it up can explain that one. But the Beauty Rest Award going to Shantika Harvin. Give it up for Shantika. Tika. I don't think Tika's with us today, but I trust that she's watching, and so I'm going to give her a shout out because Shantika, it's just been such amazing to watch her grow as an artist. For all of you who have been in the composition classes with her, she's the kind of person who will be very shy. She's not quite sure, but then when the show comes, she is sure. Everything is sure about it. And it was just amazing to see that process happen in bigger and bigger ways, from that amazingly beautiful, complex hip-hop piece she made at the Spring Dance concert a couple times ago, to who was in composition when she made her breakthrough and did a sexy dance? Okay, well, if you weren't in composition class, because she teaches kids, and I can relate to this thing of putting risky work in your art when you are an educator, you know, and she worked through that, but it was really amazing because it was so much about empowerment and being okay with who you are, being okay in your body, and Shantika was just always creating more space for herself, and I'm sure she's an incredible role model to all those students that she's working with. So another shout out to Tika. Love you, Tika. Work. And the next award I have the honor of giving out is, again, I didn't make these, but it's fitting. The Best for Last Award, which goes to Amaury Gonzalez. What? Come on up. Come on with it. Come on with it. And, you know, I got hired into a dance job, and I'm so grateful that's not what the job ended up being. Being able to work with theater students and multimedia students, and hello, Amaury. So I didn't get you early on in your study, but as things went along, I started having you in class more, and ending up with this amazing 4950 project. And so, I didn't name this award, but what I might intuit it means is that what I've seen is that as you've been here, you've been taking the bits that really work for you. And then it's like, in this last year, you were like, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm here for. I'm a rapper, I'm an MC, I'm gonna go ahead and drop these bars. And I don't know, was anyone else in 4950 expecting a rap music video out of Amaury? I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of no's. And you handled it, and it was amazing because you shared even in that, in our post-show talk, how you're shooting this music video very much in public, very much like in a public space, there's people everywhere, and you're just like on set, you know, but there's no set. And the kind of self-possessed way that you were able to show up in that shoot, in that work, and just like deliver that work, kudos. It's been an honor to work with you, and may you continue in this owning of your strength, power, and glory in all of the work that you do once you leave here.
I'm letting everyone know I did not know I was going to win anything. I'm letting you know one. But everyone here should know how I was from the very beginning when I first started here. So I wasn't really the type of person that really like spoke a lot. I'm pretty sure you guys knew I was always like that one person that's like stood in my corner, and I just stood to myself. And over the years, and I like started to like grew, basically, it's hard for me to do this, bro. Wow. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I didn't think I was gonna rap. I ended up doing it, and just from what like Hemek said, like you guys did not expect me to do it at all, but I ended up doing it, and I'm surprised that you guys gave me this award, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys. Class of 2021, make some noise!
Hello, everyone, and congratulations. I am here to present 2 awards, which I also didn't name. The first one is going to Fatou. It is the Born to Be a Leader Award. I first met Fatou in 2016 when she was part of a group of first-year students in my Art of the Theater class. I don't teach that class very much, so it's always a rare occasion when I see someone from that class who then becomes a theater major and takes further classes with me. So you're one example, and I've enjoyed on stage and in class over all these years. I've had you in theater history as well, where you researched Chinese theater, and you came on several adventures. If you remember the time when people went to the theater, I guess it's coming back in September, but I used to go every semester with every class to a show on Broadway, off-Broadway, or off-Broadway. And Fatou saw a pretty great selection of shows, I think, in the classes that we went to Lincoln Center to see a multimedia piece. We went to all the way to Brooklyn, to BAM, to see the City Company. And then from Lehman to the Lower East Side at Abrams Arts Center, where we saw an experimental, low-budget, off-Broadway musical based on a 19th century extravaganza. And it was adapted and directed by Joshua William Gelb. I don't know if you have followed his work, but he, during the pandemic, started doing theater in quarantine from inside his closet. And he just won a Drama League award for that work, which he also did in collaboration with a lot of other theater artists. So you can say you saw his initial experimental stuff at the Abrams Arts Center. And his work is on YouTube under Theater in Quarantine. I recommend you all check it out. I also want to apologize to you that when you were in my Art of the Theater class, I put the Flea Theater on a list of theater companies that students were allowed to research, or invitations to research different companies. And unfortunately, the Flea Theater has fallen into just a pit of shame by, recently, if you read the New York Times, it was exposed how awfully they treat their resident artists. And so, I'm sorry, but hopefully better times are ahead, and artists should obviously get paid for their work. Going forward, nobody will research the Flea Theater in my classes. Anyway, I wish you the very best, and congratulations on your degree from Lehman. Thank you. I also have the really confusingly named Class Clown Award for Jennifer Barichevich. Is she here? I don't think so. I want to say a few words about Jennifer. So we have a lot of students who come here as first years and stay for 4 years or slightly longer. And then we have a lot of transfer students with associate's degrees. I am never worried when I see a transfer student come to Lehman, because in my experience, they're always prepared, and they're usually a great role model for other students who don't yet have that experience of having earned a degree. And I took one look at Jennifer, and I knew that was true for her. I never had to worry about her, and she really surpassed all expectations. Saw her work backstage and on stage, play analysis, theater history. Those classes were a piece of cake for her. She also went on some adventures into watching shows in actual theaters at the time. We went to the Metropolitan Playhouse in the East Village together, which is interestingly also, I think, the first New York City theater that during the pandemic, as early as March, started doing Zoom readings. I have a great fondness for this theater, but I was not thrilled with their Zoom theatrics. They are still continuing. You can catch them almost every week on Saturdays, but don't share this information with Alex Rowe of the Metropolitan Playhouse. We love him and his $12 tickets and his fabulous shows of early American plays or turn-of-the-century plays that we wouldn't be able to see otherwise. In fall 2019, Jennifer was in theater history, and we went to the Classic Stage Company off-Broadway, and little did we know at the time that that was the last performance that I would be able to take any Lehman students to outside of campus. So this was the last show before the pandemic that anybody went to, and she was among the group. I wish Jennifer the best. We've been in touch a little. I hope all of you stay in touch with all of us. I know I'm the person who always says, check your Lehman email, this, that, and the other Lehman email. Now we need any other information you can give us to contact you, because that Lehman email is going away. So please don't be a stranger and let us know how to catch up with you. Thank you. And congratulations to everyone.
All right. Hi, I'm back now. Hey, so I have two folks I want to talk about who aren't with us today. And the first one is Charisse Herbert, who actually graduated in fall of 2020. If you don't know Charisse, I met her when she first got here. She is a veteran of Iraq War. And we had an orientation for her because, there's a whole process you go through with dealing with students who are coming back to the college and who are veterans. And I was just out of my league. I didn't know, I felt badly that I couldn't. It was a great learning curve for me, actually. And I have a lot of respect for her. And for what she achieved, because it's really, really difficult at best to come back, as Ben knows, later in their career, shall we say, to go back to school. I've done this myself, by the way. And, and to really be a student and be ready to receive, and to learn and to challenge and to be part of this work. And she's always there, and was always wanting to do more and always asking, what she could participate in, and she was just a lovely human being. And during Midsummer Night's Dream, I always, as you probably know, go backstage to all the folks working that have the pleasure, shall we say, of working backstage crew, for example. And I asked them how the show's going. Because to me, the people who work backstage are the ones who are doing the work to make us look good. And if we don't treat them well, we're in bad shape. And also, they were able to, and Charisse was able to sort of give me some feedback about what was working and what wasn't. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And she was so genuine about it, so sweet about it. I was just so happy about that. So I want to thank Charisse for doing that. I actually made up an award for her myself, because I wanted, I call it the Best Smile Award, right? Those are the ones you have in high school, right? Because she would walk into the room, and if you know her, she'd have that beatific smile on her face, and I would be like, make me happy, thank you. So I want to thank Charisse for that. And another person who can't be with us today is Jennifer Valaria, who just recently was part of Judas Iscariot. And Jennifer is real. I love Jennifer. She was in a play analysis class with me. And what I really love about Jennifer is that she is the type of person who will challenge you, but not in the way, as Dante put it, not in a way that was like, hey, I know more than you and you're full of shit. But, oh, there's that swearing again, sorry. But it was more this notion of, wait, I have a question about that. I'm not sure I agree with you there. And every time we talked about something, she was not afraid to ask the hard questions. And again, intellectually curious and never took, just the obvious or something at face value. And I really appreciate that about Jennifer and having that kind of voice in our program. So thank you, Jennifer. And she gets the, what the heck is it? Most likely to lead a protest award. So that, there you go. And then I saved the best for last, as they say. Tasha Coyote, could you please come to the stage? Come on, you know this is going to happen. All right, so I insisted on presenting Tasha today, all right? Because, and I'm going to wait so I can get myself back together while she's crossing the stage. Hi, dear, come here. Come here, come here. Oh, let her cry, for God's sake. Okay, come on, we're over here. You remember these guys, right? Yeah. So, Tasha and I have something in common, as you can see. We're both highly emotional water signs. Right? Am I wrong? So every time, and I'm dead serious about this stuff, people don't believe me, but not just zodiac stuff, but emotions. And for me, having Tasha in the room was a real indicator of when something was really profoundly happening and needed to be looked at. I would look at her, and if she wasn't crying, something was wrong. We weren't doing the scene right. We weren't doing, whatever was happening correctly. And we've had many wonderful experiences, and I will never forget, as long as I live, when we did Midsummer Night's Dream, and this delightful human being came on stage playing a 80-year-old father of a Léger Dumais, strangely enough, right? And what was the word you said over and over and over again? Enough! Didn't even need the mic. Enough! That moment to me, and just like when I was talking about with Angela, just knocked my socks off. It's stuff like that. I kid you not, those little moments where I'm like, wow, that's ingenious. And then she not only said it once, said it, 4 or 5 times? And it was just, as they say, comedy gold. And this is not easy to do, guys. Comedy looks easy, and as you know, if you've been in Amy's improv class, who's a comedy brilliant performer herself, this is hard stuff. So for me, I'm paying you one of the biggest compliments I could pay. You can do that, and you can do that work, and also make it heartfelt, genuine, and not just a joke. Like there's a real core of a human being there that is really clear. Someone who is really, 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 really upset by the actions of her daughter in this case, comes under that. So it's also funny, but it's also poignant and moving. And Tasha is the queen of those things. And in fact, she won the, what is it? Oh God, sorry. This is me in the sun about to pass out. Best Drama Queen Award. And I added King as well because, come on, why are we making gender distinctions on drama? Right? So, Tasha, you've always held a special place with me. I love working with you. I will miss having that laughter in rehearsal and that thoughtfulness. And also, I know you guys know this, her support of you guys in the rehearsal process, not just for herself, but for everybody in the room. And she's always hyper aware of that. And for that, I thank you so much. Yeah. I love you.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello. I really didn't want to say anything because I got emotional, but if it wasn't for everybody here, like the students and the professors for believing in me, breathe, right? Breathe. I wouldn't be here today. I love you, everybody, so much. Thank you for everything. For real, thank you. And I will continue being the artist. And I will make everybody proud. I promise.
Thank you. All right, Monica, I saw you sneaking around out there. I'm going to say something about Monica as she walks to the stage. This woman has been incredible this year, has she not? She's made all these online Zoom productions happen, as far as I'm concerned, or been an instrumental part of them, and without her, we couldn't have done it. And that is the truth.
Hey. Ooh. Like microphone. It's like I think I need to take Tamala's class as well. So I just want to congratulate you all 2021 graduates. It's really special. I'm a newbie, so this is it was hard to know. I feel that you just welcome me into your community, and community is constantly remade, so you let me make community with you. And that's really special. And it was really important, I think, especially this year, just like how do we show up for each other? And I think you all did that. And also you that are, tuning in later, just a witness to the people that couldn't be here that are graduating. We love you. And I get the special opportunity to introduce 3 people. And the first is Janelle Rowe. And Janelle's not here today, but she gets the award of the most likely to star in their own reality show award. And if you haven't yet seen many of her multimedia projects, know that that's it. What an incredible Janelle, incredible spirit. I love your humor, and I also love your dedication. And I think it was a surprise, I think, as part 2 in if anyone was in the digital storytelling class, where she did this reenactment of a Maury show. And here she is, studying every camera angle, playing all the characters. And she really pushed what you could do with parody. And I think she reminded us that the power of humor in art and the importance of having humor to touch with all different types of issues. So thank you, Janelle, and congratulations. The award was already introduced. Which is the Life of the Party Award. Do we remember that was Chris Getty? Do you want to come up here? Another moment? I wrote a little script, and maybe I'll rip it off and give it to you, Chris, later. But I won't totally speak exactly from it. It's just these reminder cues. I remember, but you can tell me if it was right. The first time we met was actually my first semester with Tools of Digital Storytelling, our final projects. And you weren't in the class, but you came and you showed up and you wanted to see what other people were doing. And Angela, were you there too? I'm not sure, but I think there was a few other people, but that was really, I think, really important to know that people are coming to each other's classes to see what are you doing? What happens here, instead of and there's little gossips I think always go around of oh, this happened, and as faculty we get little glimpses of it. And I just want to say how I just appreciate, you're so curious, you're so heartfelt, and you're so creative. And I especially, the thing was, I feel we didn't know how long we'd be doing online remote classes. So soon I felt when we came back in the fall, this idea of like, okay, we have to have the endurance maybe to do this another year. And that doesn't always feel so hot. And we had the 4950 final projects together. And it was Angela, Chris, and Danya. And it was so special to show up every other week and have that community with you. And I love seeing you grow. Like, you're the person that's like, I'm collecting this and these images and these sounds and these movements, and maybe these people will perform in it. And you have a real genuine way of bringing collaboration into your projects, and I think that's really special.
Let me just say, when I did my 4950 with Monica, it was like the second showing, and the whole thing deleted. And she really took her time, because I was just so frustrated. And she's like, try this, try that. I'm like, it's not working. What's going on? But definitely, like, thank you for, because that message of Cycles was just, I felt like it was something that I need to share. And you took it, and being that it was modified in a way that not really, when I started it, it was something, I ended something else, but you really helped me gravitate and get what I was trying to showcase. So I will always appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm so excited for what you also do later. So you all should, don't be a stranger and tell us what you're working on. The next award, I don't know if it's exact, I also didn't make it, but is the Quiet Genius Award, and that goes to Erica Pena. And you might be maybe sometimes quiet, but I love seeing you in The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, which she was Saint Monica, and I'm named after Saint Monica, and I was like, oh yeah, she's got it. Like, I've loved working with you, and you were in my first tools class, and then digital storytelling. And what I've always really appreciated is that you are so imaginative, and that you might be kind of behind the scenes, but you're kind of taking everything quietly and figuring out how to actually use it to show us what your vision of the world is. And that's like one of the things we aspire to be as artists, is also like a reflection of what maybe the world is, or what the world we want to be. And like how does that like shape and reflect back into us. And this last project, I just want to say, my first semester, I don't know people's first semesters, but I pushed so many things into the tools class. They were doing video, sound, QLab, Isadora, silhouette projections. It was just like, they're like, we don't have time to rehearse. I was like, let's workshop it. It'll be that kind of thing. It'll just be a piece. It's like one iteration. And your collaborative team ended up doing this beautiful piece where they were speaking poetry, and they were working with live camera and dance, and the poetry and the sound of the voice was manipulating the video. And so you've like really found these ways of integrating like all forms, it's like very interdisciplinary. So I'm excited to see where your journey will take you. And thank you.
Hi guys, what's up? I just want to say I love all of you. You're so inspiring and talented. I love all the professors. I've learned so many things here. Monica, you're amazing. All of you guys are amazing, and I will never forget my years here at Lehman. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you doing house?
Is this mic hot? Yes, it is. They won't let me talk about all of you, and I'm sure they all wanted to too. And so here it goes for whoever's after me. You just feel your body into the ground, and remember the ground supports me. And then you breathe into your middle, because that's where impulse comes from, and that's where voice comes from, and that's where feeling and sensation come from. And you all knew that from taking my class, how deeply important that is for me to help you reconnect and identify with who you are, which is your voice, right? You can't separate yourself from that. If I heard you laughing behind me, I'd know who you were before I even turned around. And that's something really special that we all have. And I have the great privilege of teaching voice, and on the first day, many of you say you're there because you have to be, and then I put a little X by your name and I circle it and I look at you through the side of my face, and that's my little joke on the first day. But because of the nature of what I teach, I get to know all of you on the first day of class so intimately when we do history of names and who you are and how you identify with yourself and how people have tried to change your identity. And it's just such a pleasure to watch all of you grow over these years and become the people who you are. I've struggled with being in academia doing what I love, because I think it's a real disservice that there are so many schools putting people out into a market that's not going to support us all. But the reason I do it is because you give me hope, and I think the arts and humanities are one of the most important things that we can teach, because we teach people to be human again, that thing we lose as we grow up and try to fit into molds and put on social masks and change our voice to fit in. And so you give me hope, and that's why I can be in academia. And so please keep fighting for a better future, because I'm exhausted, and I don't go to protests like I did in my 20s and 30s, and as I date myself. So as I get to only speak about a few of you, I want to first speak about someone who isn't here. We all know Zacchaeus Watson so well, as Ms. Reynoso has talked about, and he gets, of course, Dress to Impress Award. Which is so funny to me. Zacchaeus, so much love going out to you. I can't say enough about Zacchaeus. When he first took my voice class, I just remember you, Zacchaeus, being not comfortable, being comfortable with being uncomfortable with yourself in front of others. And that alone is just such a gift. But the uncomfortability of having to get it right, do the right thing, did it come out the way I wanted? What are my arms doing? And there was all this fixing all the time, and as I call rocking the boat, when it performing, going just side to side and back and forth and trying to diffuse impulses because he didn't know where to put them. And I remember just getting on my hands and knees on the ground in his bare feet. And those of you who were in class remember, I just held his feet to the ground. And I said, just do your monologue from there. Just feel your feet in the ground and do it from there. And really, that was one of the first times I remember, there's Zacchaeus grounded. That's who he is when he's grounded. And what a person, Zacchaeus, you've become in being comfortable with your own skin. And even when you're not fully comfortable with yourself, being comfortable to identify with who you are. And just so much growth that really one of those most improved awards that I have to give out goes to Zacchaeus Watson. So congratulations, Zacchaeus. And then someone both Michael Backinson and I adore so much, from this little boy who I also got to see the little boy pictures. For those that saw Polaroid Stories, was there ever a fatter baby than Frank Monsione? I mean, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Frank was that big once. He probably weighed more then than he does now. And he gets the Never Too Late Award, which is this a joke that I don't know about? I know Frank is deeply sensitive. Michael wanted me to say the first day he took class, he scared the other people in the class because he was so there. And the other people in the class, I don't know who it was, were like, oh, shoot, we gotta be up there right away. Like, someone's not gonna tell us to be up there, we gotta be up there already, and then we'll get some direction and coaching. And again, another person who has just come so far. All of you know Frank is so supportive in class, so positive, so come on guys, we're gonna do this, let's make this happen. energy just bursting from him. So I knew when I was directing Polaroid Stories, I was like, please say Frank's auditioning for Skinhead Boy, because I already knew he was one of the only people that could pull off that energy. And right from the first callback, I said, no, the first audition before callbacks, I said, can you just bounce around the room and just never stop moving, no matter what you're saying or doing? Just go somewhere else as soon as somebody is paying attention to you. And then he just did it, and he only got better from there, which is what Frank does so well. Just he's very malleable and takes direction and can really be somebody that once you work with him once, you're like, I want to work with Frank again. I love working with Frank. Anything you give him, that's what he gives you back, except a little higher. So yeah, it was really great to watch this almost boy that I knew grow up to be such an amazing man and so talented and so there for all of you, as I'm sure you agree with me. So Frank, congratulations. So much love going out to you and your family. Congratulations. And then I have another student who I get to know well, is because all of you are in my voice class, who gets the Garrulous Award. And some people might be, what is Garrulous? Garrulous is gregarious, bubbly, out there, all this vitality, and that goes to you, Naomi Clark. So if you want to come on up for a minute. I remember when we were in school, Naomi's always in a group, keeping people interested, entertaining people. You have that kind of energy, and it's you know, it's always so, all of us that teach know how important that is in class, because school is just so hard, and we get to see each other at their worst, including us as professors that aren't having our best day and have to come in and bring it for all of you. So congratulations. We already hugged, so we're okay. If we switched anything, we've already switched it. And so the great thing about seeing people like you, Naomi, is you get to see somebody who's so, has all this energy, right? And helping other people to be up there and stay positive and look past the dark cloud that's over you. And, but that's not the person that I've come to know, which is that to see your work. And then, of course, I forgot the monologue she did, as I can't remember. But then I felt bad, except she forgot the monologue she did as well. So then I was like, okay, I have 30 students a semester doing Shakespeare monologues. So if you forgot your own, I don't feel so bad. But just what a fierce woman you've become. And seeing that not just in your work, but through what we've been through, and supporting people in the Zoom room, which is a disaster, as you all know. So anyone that can do that and come on screen and support others is just so commendable. And I'm really excited about your future. And like I said, you all give me hope. So I hope that you will carry on this legacy of being an artist and a humanitarian and reflect the world back and say, listen, we're not going to put up with this shit. So there it is. You all know. Just so you know, it's important to swear. Once you have the impulse, it's actually unhealthy to stop it. They've done studies on this. So my daughter calls me the F-bomb mom. I want to say that just congratulations to all of you, and the same thing I tell you at the end of every semester. You may not be fond of me, you may not have liked my class, you may even wonder, what the hell are we doing? But for the rest of my life, you will always be my students. And anytime I see you, 10 blocks away, and I recognize your voice or the way you walk, I'll say, there goes my student. And you can always use me as a resource, not just as your professor, but as your friend and as your colleague in this work. So congratulations, class of 2021. Woohoo! You rock, you really do. You really do.
So, I have the pleasure of doing 3 more awards, but before I get to those, I want to give a shout out to the parents. We're very sorry that you couldn't be with us here today, but thank you for creating such wonderful people and trusting us with them. And I just wanted to recognize you and all the sacrifices that you've made to support our students here today. So I just wanted to give an opportunity to recognize the parents. The first award goes to Cassandra Sustash. She is not here today, but the award she got was most likely to quietly take over the world, which, yeah, I can see that. The first time I met her was in Movement for Actors and Dancers class, and my first memory of her is just sort of hair and like eyes that were coming out from behind the hair. And gradually throughout the year, there was this character that emerged, which was kind of this like army guy from like the 1940s, and we'd be in the middle of a free improvisation and she'd just be like running around like shooting people and hiding behind things, and I began to be very curious about her, and so I was happy when she auditioned for Canopsia, and it was incredible to watch her create Knox. Each day we'd have a rehearsal and she'd go away, and then the next time there'd be a new layer to this character. And she really did an amazing job of, I think, creating quite an unforgettable and very funny character. So I will always remember Cassandra as Knox. The second award that I'm giving today that I'm presenting today is for Angel Gonzalez. He gets the Risk Taker Award. And he is not here today. He's moved to Pennsylvania, but hopefully he will watch this. And my favorite Angel story is he would practice in the racquetball courts all the time. So anytime I came into the Apex, Angel would be, doing his ballet bar in the racquetball courts. And one time I came and he came out to meet me and talk with me, and we were talking for quite a while, and finally I said to him, Angel, why do you have a sock on your head? And he said, because I'm practicing turns on l'air, and I know if the sock falls off, I was off my axis. And I was like, that's genius. And I'd often felt that about Angel, like he's on his path. And I really admire his understanding of process and his willingness to go so far as to look ridiculous in the effort to understand his craft and pursue what he loves. So I am grateful for Angel for reminding me of how important it is to dedicate yourself to things and have a sense of humor while you're doing that. And the last award that I'm going to present is to Vette Muniz. And Vette is getting the Sweet Pea Award. That's okay. And I met Zuli in Movement for Actors and Dancers as well. And initially, we were a little quiet, which I understand. That was very much my story in college. And so it's been really exciting for me to watch you come into your power. Sorry, can I just stand over here? When you auditioned for Canopsia, I was so excited to see, what you brought to the audition. And I remember we were doing archetypes to kind of try to find characters, and you got the hero archetype, and I just remember you standing there and transforming, and I thought she wasn't named Ray yet, but she's gonna be Ray. She's gonna be the hero of this story. And that was really exciting for me to see you standing on your 2 feet like that. And the dedication that Zuli put in during the Canopsia was unbelievable. She, did the writing for her character, as did, the other cast members. She shot all the footage within her apartment. She painted the tree picture that was over her couch. There were many late night conversations where we would have had a rehearsal, and she'd say, but I I want to talk about this a little more. I want to understand this. I've been thinking about it, and I think there's more there. And so she was digging in a very professional and profound way. And then she even went as far as to try to cook rectangular churros for a scene, for the dinner scene in Rectangulus, which unfortunately didn't work out. But I was very impressed at that level of dedication, and I got a text, a very worried text with pictures of misshapen churros, and we just cut that part. But I appreciated the effort. So thank you, Zuli Vette, for being, an incredible artist and for working with me.
Thank you, Amy. Working with you was just such a transformative experience, and I'll always take that with me everywhere I go. You gave me the confidence to know that I can be in a play, I can audition and get the role. So just thank you, and to all the professors, thank you for your support, the knowledge you share. As educators, you guys are beyond amazing, what any educator should aspire to be. So thank you so much to my peers. It was an honor to be amongst you all. I learned from you every single day I came to class. I was so inspired, and thank you to the theater department for being the foundation and the first step into my career. I love you all.
Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Wow. I'm so relieved the shade has moved your way, right? So you can cool down a little bit. So hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Stowe, and I'm a playwright, and I teach here. I've been at Lehman since 2006. It's hard to believe, but as a playwright, we're always looking for the right words. Today, it's like one of those days words kind of fail you. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing that. Okay. I gotta breathe, Tamala. I gotta, whew. So I'm gonna be speaking about 3 students, 2 of which are not here. Before I move into that, I just want to talk about how exciting it is the last couple years to see the playwriting program here take root and grow, and the incredible work that you guys, students, have been doing these last couple years. The New Voices Student Play Festival is just such an incredible ride to go on. This year was no different because we had the challenge of the Zoom performance space, but many of you out here had a chance to work with me on those festivals. I think about you often. I thought about you all often this year, especially our last festival in 2020 when we were able to perform just a few weeks before the world shut down, basically. But I want to talk about 3 students in particular. The first is not here, Whitney Wela. She's graduating. Hey, Whitney. Sort of quickly, I first met Whitney, and she was also so quiet. When I cast her in this new play festival, she was cast as sort of a really funny character. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to see it, it's Jadiel Rodriguez's play, Sonder. It's on YouTube. You can watch her. Whitney had a line in that piece where 2 of the fellow subway riders are acting up and not behaving themselves, and she has to threaten to pull out a can of pepper spray on them. And it took weeks, actually, for us to get her to that moment where she could deliver that line, because she just couldn't sort of invest in it. But finally, on the very last night we were recording, because we did our recordings in total, so we would have these full takes of the performances, she nailed it. It was that 11th hour moment, and we were all so thrilled for her. And you can see it, because it now lives in perpetuity on YouTube. So I'll never think of pepper spray quite the same way. Whitney, I'm so proud of you. I just had a couple words here that I wanted to say. It was incredible, Whitney, to watch you explore your talent, to blossom, to find your confidence this semester, especially as an actor. It was a pure joy. You were dedicated, focused. You always had a sense of humor, and you brought a wonderful portrayal of a new character to life, creating theater history in the process. And that's what I always try to tell you guys when we're working on new plays, that we are creating something that's unique and special, and it is a piece of theater history that you own forever. So, you know, she performed this character in Sonder. And in many ways, I think I said this to Whitney at one point, the character of Wendy was, in a way, us this year. We were all, she conveyed how we all felt. You know, at some point this year, we were all on a journey. We didn't know, we weren't able to steer it. We didn't know where we were going to end up. We knew the destination was coming, and we're almost there, guys. But we'd hoped we'd all get there together, safe, eventually. So thanks, Whitney. You did a great job. Sorry you're not here. Congratulations. I'm also going to speak about Crystal Cordero, who's also not here. Real quick, I'm sorry, I have to go back. Whitney is the recipient of the Mama Bear Award. Just put that on the end. I don't know what that means, but congratulations, Whit. Crystal Cordero is another student that I had the pleasure of knowing. Crystal is just one of those amazing performers, incredibly generous, incredibly brilliant, has a photographic memory, could look at a script. I worked with her on a new piece for College Now and brought her into the process. She could look at the script, she could almost memorize it on the spot and bring incredible choices to every moment that she was on stage. And it was kind of a amazing and inspiring thing to see. And she was great to know. Really smart. I met her in Theater 241 and she ended up joining us in several performances. Crystal, congratulations to you. I'm sorry you're not here with us, but I hope to see you soon in the future. Maybe we'll work together again also. And last but not least, Andrew is here. Andrew, AJ, if you want to come on up. So as Andrew's walking up, I met Andrew first, I think, in Acting 1, and then I mesmerized and hypnotized him to audition for the new play festivals, and I had the good fortune and honor to work with him on 2 of them, and most recently in 2019, right? Andrew, you are the recipient of the Most Likely to Be President Award. So I just wanted to say also, you know, working with AJ, Andrew, I think I always called you Andrew. Yeah. Andrew always brought an incredibly generous and deeply emotionally attached element to every role he played. He's an incredible acting partner, as Natasha I know will attest. And to this day, I've done a few shows here at Lehman, but to this day, that last moment of the 2 of you in the play by Lehman alumni, Damara Lee Alvarado, Remember Me, is one of the most beautiful I've seen on stage, and you guys created that. And it was a pleasure to watch that happen. Andrew, really, your sense of humor, you're one of the most generous performers. I'm repeating myself, but watching you blossom, I only wish we had more time to work together. But congratulations. Congratulations on your graduation. It's been a pleasure to know you. Can I hug you very quickly? Yeah. Thank you. And just one last thing I want to say, because I'm a big believer in original work and how creating the thing that you want to do is so important. And I wish I could say something about all of you, but I do want to encourage you all to remember that your art is work, to value the art in yourself, value the work that you do in this art. Don't wait for permission for anyone to let you do something in the arts. Make the thing you want to do. Find your community after this day. I know you guys are all connected to each other. These are the people you want to support and continue to work with, and that's the kind of anchor of what we do in the theater. We find our communities, and we carry them with us as we go forward. So congratulations to all of you. Very proud to know you. Class of 2021. Woo! Nice job. Yeah, come this way, I think. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, now we're going to do that normal graduation thing, you know, to make it official. So we're going to call you all up here and say the name and hand you the thing. Where's Jennifer McCabe, the hander-outer of the things? What are these things called? Diplomas? All right. No, you're the hander-outer. You do this. All right, so, I need my list tonight. Ah, there it is. There it is. Your favorite song. Angela Reynoso. Laura Guzman. Ellie Berry. Idania Quezada. Oh, go across. Benjamin Spearman. Gonzalez. Fatu Krabali. Tasha Coyote. Christopher Getty. Erica Pena. Naomi Clark. Zuliet Muniz. And the delightful and attractive A.J. Moeller. Thank you all. Come on. Photo op time.